hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. It's kush. I love me too much and your brain turn to mush. Fall flat on your tush. You couldn't handle the product I push. I guess I'm just used to it. I just do it like Nike swoosh. None of that Reggie Bush cause I'm top shelf. I ain't got...
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
And we are back live with you this evening. Hello, everybody. Make sure that you're commenting. Go on the chat. Tell us where you're from. Say what's up. And yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we're just going to wait for Josh to go ahead and hop in, and then we will be ready to go. Just let us know what's going on. What's going on with you, Austin?
Not a lot. Just chilling.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, great heavens. Okay. All right. That's fine. That works, I guess. You know, no need to give me a minor heart attack. But yeah, man, welcome back. YDKJAC Podcast. Just coming to you live so that we can go ahead and just talk about everything surrounding Colts and slander. And I got a small bit of Titan slander because you know what? Bunch of hypocrites. They're a bunch of hypocrites. So, yes. But you know what? We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and introduce the guys, starting with our guy, the senior, the not the only senior I know, but you know what? Great senior here, okay? We got with us Josh Senior, everybody.
It's good to be back because, you know, the last few weeks, I didn't want to show my face because I didn't have a haircut, so I can show my face now as soon as I got a haircut.
The haircut wasn't the reason why. Let's not do that. Let's not lie to our loyal viewers out there about why you didn't want to show your face, sir. All right. But anywho, then moving on to the silent assassin himself, the man who sends the most immaculate family postcards that I've ever received. I'm telling you, I've gotten two of them, and both of them are up on like my fridge, you know, front and center. And you know what? It's crazy because my daughter came downstairs and she was just like, oh, okay. And then she's looking at the fridge because one of her friends was here, and she's just like, yeah. She's like, but who are these people? I'm just like, this is Austin and Brianna, and I don't care if you know them or not, but that stays up there. She was like, okay. I was like, all right. You know, it's just like, I'm just letting them know. Just be like, hey, listen, I'm all about it, okay? Exactly. Don't bother it. If you don't know, now you know. Now back off. But yeah. So what you do? So, you know, to that, you understand. But yes, Austin Cook, everybody.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Austin. I appreciate it.
See? Austin been trolling lately, too. You know,
he has been.
Yeah, been trolling a lot lately. So I've been keeping an eye on it. I've been keeping an eye on it.
I'm going to start calling Austin Loki because he's a low-key trickster. He be just getting these people hopes up, and then it's just like just shoot them down right when it's just like they get to their peak. Like, I love it personally, and of course I'm Chris Jackson. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. But in the meantime, let's just go ahead because you know what? Before we get into topics, I just want to bring up something very, very random. All these years, for like the last 3 years, we've been getting hell from Tennessee Titans fans, telling us that, oh, we're getting old, washed up QBs, this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. And then a Titans fan has the nerve, has the audacity, as Stephen A. Smith would say, the unmitigated gall, to say, after the Buccaneers lost their playoff game, he said, we'd love to have Tom Brady. That man is 83 years old.
Older than any quarterback that we ever got.
Yeah, not only that, but the thing is, you mean to tell me that Tom Brady is going to go from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Tennessee Titans, who in no way, shape, or form anywhere near as talented as that Bucs team, and he's going to say, you know what, I can win with this team.
Yeah, they're trying to have this connection because of Mike Vrabel, but yeah, like you said, they're a bunch of hypocrites. Now, go ahead, Austin. I can speak after you.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say they also said something about Aaron Rodgers. A couple of them shared the photo of him in a Titans jersey.
Pathetic.
Speaking of the top of the hypocrite though, have y'all seen them? Have you seen them been just cheering on the Chargers and cheering on the Chiefs the past 2 weeks? Because from my understanding that the Colts can't cheer against the Titans at all. It's called dick riding, or we're preying on their downfall. Now, since they got swept twice by the Jags, they want to root against them because they eliminated them from playoff contention, and now the world's in full circle.
Going back to my original point, they're a bunch of hypocrites. I mean, let's just call it how it is. This is the same fan base who literally started puffing their chest as soon as they even remotely got good. Like they accused us of laughing at Marcus Mariota when he got hurt. That didn't happen. They accused us of saying that Derrick Henry was trash. It's just like that didn't happen. Like everything that they've tried to project onto us is everything that they've done in the same time. And yet here we are after they got swept and they're trying to talk trash. Somebody had the nerve to say the Jags were trash and was just like, how did they sweep you? How did they sweep you? Well, we were injured. It's just like, y'all were just as injured last year and y'all went 12-5. And now all of a sudden you go 8-9 and now injuries are the injuries can't be an accolade last year and an excuse this year. So I don't want to hear that because that's just trash.
Yes.
So, but
they move goalposts. More than any fan base I've ever seen.
They move goalposts more than Tennessee after they beat Alabama.
We're not talking. I'm gone. See y'all later.
Oh, my bad, dog. Open wounds. I get it.
Yeah, I haven't passed them up yet. It's still open. Once we beat them next year, then I'm good to go.
If you beat them next year,
we will beat them for another 15 years.
All right, moving on. So now moving on. This has been a very, very busy week. A lot of head coaching. I'm going to say candidates. Now that we're officially in the period where they can go and they can talk to OCs, DCs, talk to eligible candidates. We had our first round of head coaches, but prior to that, let's be honest, we were kind of scared.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't know whether or not certain things would happen. We would have to wait till Monday, but CJ Stroud officially declared for the NFL draft.
He did.
So how are we feeling? Are we relieved? Do we kind of feel indifferent? How do we feel now that we know for a fact that he's actually going to be in there and there's a shot?
I feel good. It was what it was going to do is going to make the Bears' number one pick more expensive than what it already is.
Yeah.
And it just takes one of the top three quarterbacks of this draft class. I just think it would have been a bad move for him personally, overall, because he could end up getting hurt or sliding down the draft because there's more quarterbacks coming out next year that he might not be as good at.
Yeah, there was just looking at the list now. There's a lot more because I think Cam Ward also is staying for another year. I think Bo Nix also, and so I mean you had I think next year there was probably about
Joe Milton.
Oh Lord. So there's 10. Well, I mean there's only but so long before Nico actually starts lighting everything up. So, but I mean, like I said, I think next year there's about 8 to 10 names on that QB list that it's just like I think next year's class is going to be way deeper than this class even.
Yeah, even top two, Caleb Williams and Drake May, both of those are going to be solid.
What about the guy from UCLA? Is he eligible? Thompson, something like that, I think. Can't remember his number one.
I think he is in the draft.
Okay.
Whenever I see mock drafts, I see him going pretty late.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the guys that for a fact are probably going to go a little bit earlier. It's probably going to end up being, I'm going to say, it's going to be Young, Stroud, Levis. I'm going to say even Richardson in there. And I think maybe Hooker, depending on where teams have him. I mean, it depends on teams that are just like decent at quarterback, but they know that they have a quarterback who is probably going to be like on that kind of on like that last string. So, I mean, that could be just about any team, but I mean, we'll see. But in the meantime, now that we know that Stroud's going to be in the draft, head coaching search. So, of course, it's just like there's been different names. We interviewed with Ben Johnson, who sadly has returned to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jim Harbaugh's name was thrown into there. Sean Payton was somebody that everybody was talking about, and then he said mid to late first rounder for him. And everybody's just
they said 2 first round now.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm out on that one.
Like, think of how crazy it is that you have to give a team draft capital. And mind you, the only reason why they're doing this is because of the fact that the Saints gave up their first round pick for this year, last year. So now they're just looking to recoup because they made that bad deal. So now they're looking to recoup what they lost and then some. But then you're saying that in order to get a head coach, you have to give up draft capital, which means that your coach is going to come in there and potentially not be able to go in there full power. Like, I think that as a whole is the reason why I'm like, yeah, no, absolutely not. We're out.
Yeah, I read in the chat, in the AFC chat, that they're asking price is kind of steep. They wanted 2 first rounders, and then Sean Payton himself wanted 1 in 20 to 25 million a year. I was like, oh no, yeah, well, not us. That ain't happening.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
I'm okay without Sean Payton.
Yeah, I was already okay without Sean Payton because, whenever they have a coach that's under contract, you're already talking about draft compensation. They're not about to let him go for that. Like, and not only that, but it's just like this team needs help, and the last thing that you're going to do is just go and just pay a ransom. And then on top of that, you're going to pay even more money just for a coach. Like, it's no way.
No.
But then and then of course Jim Harbaugh, he's returning to Michigan. So we've had some names that have been thrown out there. I'm gonna say we have Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator from the Rams. Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator from the Lions, which I'm not necessarily too fond of because that defense was just not good. So
his scheme pretty bad anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Shane Steichen, Ejiro Evero from Denver. I'm gonna say there's been a few different names that have been put out there. But honestly, who were some of you guys' favorites so far?
Yeah, my favorite is Frank Wright.
Yeah, I think give him another try.
Josh is on timeout. All right.
Hey, I'm just saying it's everybody's favorite, man. We got our plate, so.
No, we're not doing this. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Bring back Chuck Pagano. Just chopping some.
All right, you're going out too. All right. All right. Oh, are we ready to get it together?
All right. Okay, I'm done. All right. My for real, Ben Johnson was my favorite. We all know that. We all discussed that. That's one of our favorite. And Jim. But from the looks of it, my favorite is nobody has probably expected. Is Raheem Morris. Right now, okay. I'm giving him a nod. I mean, I take that back. The DC from Niners, man. I got to go with Ryans.
Oh yeah, Ryans. DeMeco Ryans definitely came up. So that one, I think that one is very interesting one. So I'm gonna say I wasn't sold on Raheem Morris because of what he did in terms of like how it was way back when he was on Tampa Bay.
Hmm.
And Stephen Burton on Twitter, so make sure you go follow him. He mentioned, about the fact that when Raheem Morris got the head coach job, in Tampa Bay, he was 33.
It was on, yeah.
So, he was a younger coach thrown into a little bit of a crappy situation. And, it wasn't the best of situations because, he basically just had to take what he was given. But then looking back, it was like, oh, okay. This man did lead that team to a 10-6 record. And I believe they went to the playoffs that year. But it was a 10-6 record with Josh Freeman. I didn't think Josh Freeman was that bad, but he really wasn't that good either. So, I mean, being able to go and just lead that team there, mind you, this is pre everything. I believe this was also pre Mike Evans. So, I mean, he had that team at 10-6, just firing on all cylinders for that year. And then, like I said, it was a crappy situation, but, looking now, he's older now. He's been able to kind of sit behind different people. And one thing also I didn't know was that he's actually had a hand in offense and defense on both sides of the ball. So
I know that. I didn't know that at all.
So I mean, there's versatility there for sure. So I mean, if we're talking about somebody who has definitely benefited from time away from that role, I think that's definitely something that needs to be looked at. But I don't know. That's just me. But what do you think, Austin?
Yeah, I like Raheem Morris as well. I've heard good things about him. I heard the interview went well. I like D'Amico Ryans. He just has that 49ers defense. I know they got a lot of solid guys on their defense, but he has them looking good. Like, take them to the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback good.
Yeah.
I also like Shane from the Eagles. I just think he might be a good offensive-minded coach. But if I had to pick a favorite, I would probably say right now is D'Amico Ryans.
Okay. And so I want to say it's just like I also was apprehensive because with us getting a rookie quarterback, I was really apprehensive, about getting somebody on defense because it's just like I think having somebody on defense that will be able to kind of just like speak to what it is that that kind of nurturing that you want out of a rookie quarterback, I think is going to be like a big deal. But when it comes down to it, I think it's just like we'll probably end up with with somebody who's like more of a defensive minded coach, because at this point you kind of have to roll with what you have. So
Yeah.
Y'all talk about the best head coach for Levis, ain't it? You know what, Morocco? I'm going to tell you straight like this. Y'all need to be worried about whether or not your new offensive coordinator, whoever this may be, since y'all are going after Eric Bieniemy to get the exact same role that he has in Kansas City for some reason, would be good with Tom Brady. Tom Brady at all of 92 years old.
No, they're trading for Jimmy G since they got the pro scout from the Niners. So they're gonna trade for Jimmy G.
Well, I mean, let them tell it. They're trading for Trey Lance, which, I mean, good luck. But I don't see that. But good one though. I mean, I want to say it's just like I believe that y'all will be able to do something. I didn't say win. I just said do something. So take that with a grain of salt. But anyways. Oh, and by the way, I saw you eat that mayonnaise live. So and you look like you enjoyed it, like most Titans fans do.
He celebrated this shit. He celebrated it.
Like the thing about me is that it's just like he lost a bet and had to eat mayonnaise as a punishment. But the thing is, to them, it's just like if they have to eat mayonnaise, is that really a punishment?
No, It's like eating ketchup.
It's like, hey, if you lose this bet, you have to drink this fresh cold bottle of beer. Sure. Please don't. It's like, oh no, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Let's make it two. Like, it's just like, it doesn't make sense. He said, Vrabel going to die on the hill of Tannehill and Henry. That he is.
You're right about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. He's going to die. Mike Vrabel's going to die on the Tannehill. So there you go. Take that as you will. That's what's going to happen. But in the meantime, I mean, right now, so I'm going to say, it's just like, let's just say if we chose not to go defense at all, for your defensive, or for, let's just say if you want somebody that's more offensive minded, who then do you have in mind since Ben Johnson is completely off the table?
Well, there's the Eagles offensive coordinator.
Shane Steichen?
Yeah, Shane Steichen. Come full circle, you know. We gave them their head coach, they can give us ours.
If it's up to Sirianni, he might not. You know how much of a Frank Reich fanboy he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the OC from the Giants.
Oh, Kafka?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
like Kafka. I like what he's done, but I don't know. Something about him.
It's just hard like it's hard to ignore that when after he done with Danny Dimes. It's kind of hard to ignore that. It's really kind of hard.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's just like I'm along the lines of, if he can make Danny Dimes look good, then he can make anybody look good. But then again, it's just like, how will that translate, especially with like the way that teams are playing offense now? Because then you're going to move into a head coach role, and then he's going to have to promote somebody.
Yeah, and like all year, their offense has been run through Saquon. Like, if he got hurt again, they wouldn't be in the playoffs right now. So, like, I hope he stays healthy, and like Danny Dimes does look good, but I wouldn't mind it as like, because I do think he is a good coach, but a lot of the Giants games that I've seen has been a lot of Saquon.
Yeah,
and we have JT, but we want to be more balanced, I would think.
Exactly. And you know what? It's just like, I have a feeling that if we got somebody like Kafka, I think that would pretty much just like sew up the fact that we'd end up with Levis. Because if you've seen any of his highlights, you know that he is very, very, very likely at all times to just take off and run. And I just don't like, for me personally, I feel like that's kind of like taking a step in the wrong direction.
Yeah, at least with CJ, he doesn't want to run. He wants to pass first. He will only run if nothing is open.
If he absolutely has to, which is fine. And the thing is, it's just like, if you have to run based on necessity, then fine. But it's just like, just running just based on that is just like, no, not feeling it.
That's why I don't want Lamar.
So the thing is, that's the tough part about, I don't want Lamar for different reasons, because I feel like now it's just like with Greg Roman's system, it's just like that's literally like what they game plan for. And on top of that, it's just like this new management has done diddly squat to make sure that they get him weapons. But the problem that I have is the price tag that it's going to come with, because you're trading away a first round pick, but then also you have to pay this man upwards of $40 million. And I mean, getting a rookie QB is going to end up just being just much, much lower overall. I mean, in what you would have to pay Lamar for the next 3 to 4 years, you know, you probably would pay a rookie QB all that combined in 4 years. So, I mean, to me, it's just like, it doesn't make sense to cripple yourself when you can just get a guy, have him develop, and then it'll just cost you a lot less. Not only that, but the thing is, we also have to pay JT and Pittman next year.
But Cap is just a myth. It's not a real thing. So
The thing is, it's like Cap is a myth, but the problem is that Cap is more so a myth for other teams. Like Cap is a myth for a team like the Rams because the thing is the Rams are an LA based team. They have a little bit more liberty when it comes to that. The problem that you have with small market teams like us, like in Carolina, like different places, is the fact that or look at what happened with Kansas City a few years ago. I think they had like $700 of cap space, and then all of a sudden they made two moves, and then they had 17 million again. But the thing is, for Kansas City, that made sense. For us, it seems like we have to watch that because being in a smaller market, you're not going to get as many liberties as you normally would with anywhere else.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's just like when they say cap is a myth, it's just like it's a myth. It's a myth to the ones that are well off. I just hate it because it's just like, for us being in that small market, it's just like, having the most cap space doesn't always equate to all of that. And the crazy thing is, it's just like the Rams might just go and sign like even more crazy free agent signings this year.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that they were absolute dog poo this past year. But I digress. However, let's talk about teams getting richer. Because there's one thing that keeps on being a thing, and it's these trade rumors. And the trade rumors that I've heard thus far are probably some of the most asinine things that I think we've heard regarding anything recently, and that's in regards to what it would take to trade up to number one. So I'm going to say we talked a little bit about it last week, but for some reason, Michael Pittman Jr. keeps coming up in trade rumors. And to me, I don't see it. I mean, what'd you say, Josh? You cut out.
I don't think it makes sense at all. They just traded for Claypool. They got St. Brown. They have the Mooney.
Yeah.
Who else they have? I forgot who they have, but they have several receivers. They don't need another receiver.
Yeah, like they had N'Keal Harry.
Yes, him too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, they said that the Bears offense next year, and this is probably as unrealistic as possible, but they said that next year their offense could be Fields at QB, Saquon at running back, number one wide receiver D Hop, number two wide receiver Mooney, number three wide receiver Claypool, Cole Kmet at tight end. Like that's what they were saying that their offense could be next year, only because of the fact that they have all that cap space, and then on top of that, they have draft capital. So, you know what? I could see them asking for a lot. I think, like I said, I saw one mock that had them, at least for us to trade up to number one. It was going to be our first round pick, our second round pick, the third round pick, or I think that was Washington's third round pick, and then a second round pick next year to trade up 3 spots. But I don't know. Hey, I mean, I've seen some things. What have you seen, Austin, in terms of just like what have you seen with rumors or trade rumors, at least updated now?
Yeah, I saw the one about Michael Pittman. I just think Bears fans feel like there's the next Peyton Manning in the draft, and their pick is worth more than what it really is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think we're including Michael Pittman in a trade with the Bears for the first pick.
Yeah, we're not including wide receiver one, which he is.
I don't think we need to. I mean, with CJ coming back, well, it's not coming back. With CJ declaring, I don't see a reason to trade up unless they feel like the Texans is going to, draft him.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know about you guys. Not been a homer, but I would be okay if they do get CJ and we end up getting Bryce. I just think he needs to add some weight to him.
Yeah, I like Bryce Young, but I saw a lot of people that know more than I know about the inside stuff
Yeah.
That Chris Ballard doesn't like Bryce Young because of his size,
because of the
Small.
size.
Yeah, small.
and they like Levis better than Bryce Young. And I really just don't want Will Levis.
I don't think Levis is a top 5 player. I don't think that he played top 5 level. I think he'd be a reach at 5 or at 4. I'm sorry.
Me too, but it could happen, and I've been trying to prepare myself.
I wouldn't be mad. I mean, I know you guys, well, mainly you said that just don't like him. I did mention that he has some similarities, just a little bit, of Andrew Luck. Maybe just because because I miss him. But I mean, can't pass up on CJ or Bryce. I mean, I don't know, man. That's just me. I wouldn't take Levis over either one of them.
Yeah, no, I absolutely not with Levis, because I mean, like I said, they released that mixtape of his, and it was like 20 minutes long, and I'm watching, and it's just like when the pocket breaks down, he basically just becomes he becomes, how do I say it? He becomes a great value Lamar Jackson. Like the pocket breaks down, it's just like he's not looking for like the open pass, or he's not letting plays develop. He's automatically trying to take off. And the thing is, he's not super agile. He's not like super athletic when it comes to that. He can run a little bit, but I mean, just watching him play, it's just like it's not the most.
It's not
the most
impressive.
concerning thing. It's not impressive, because the thing is, for me, it's like for him to be mentioned as much as he is, I'm questioning. It's just like, what are you seeing that we're not seeing? Like the numbers are not good. If you watch it on tape, they're just like, oh, the talent around him is bad. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like what you talk about, the talent around him is bad. If the talent around him is bad and he still can't make plays, then what does that mean? That doesn't make him a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah,
if
we didn't get a quarterback in the top 4, we end up getting something else, and maybe a second round, or maybe I wouldn't mind getting Levis then. That means we win offensive line or offense or whatnot, or best player available, and then we end up getting a quarterback out. And if Levis is available, then I wouldn't pass up him. Because it's something about Hooker that Hendon Hooker I'm worried about when it comes down to the injury and his age, but I like his talent.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I said, having been able, because I think this season I probably put like a lot more into watching a lot of college football. And the one thing about Hendon Hooker is it's just like he has the means to be able to run. But the thing is, it's just like he uses his mobility to extend plays for passing. Like he's not somebody who is just automatically just going to just take off. And that's why it's just like the injury. I mean, the ACL injury was a freak injury. It's not because it's just like he's like super reckless or anything like that. It just really just came down to the fact that it was just like that was one of those things where it's just like it was very similar to what happened with Joe Burrow when he tore his ACL in his second year.
Right.
Like it's not necessarily to me about the fact that he, he's a little bit older, because the thing is, I think it's just like that comes with a little bit more decision making. But the thing is, now it's like, if we're going to be completely honest, look what's happening with Daniel Jones right now. Daniel Jones is having the best year that he's ever had. This is his 4th year in the league, which means that no matter what, it's never going to be about where you are, at least in your progression. It's really just going to be about being able to have a good coach and have a scheme that absolutely fits and works for you. Because I'm going to be honest, it's just like I am very still much optimistic about this offense because of the fact that we do have the pieces. Of course, you need to fix the O-line, but the thing is, if you get the right coach in there, the scheme can absolutely go and just take over and make up for the flaws that you may have roster-wise. There's no reason why the Giants, with that roster that they have on offense, there's no reason why the Giants should have been able to go and just play as handily against the Vikings. Mind you, the Vikings are a little bit fraudulent. But, I mean, the Giants, is like they're depleted. I mean, outside of Darius Slayton, who they have a wide receiver this year? Sterling Shepard got hurt in the beginning of the year.
Is it Kenan Galloway? Is he still there, or is he hurt?
Sir, he's not hurt. He stinks. All right. They said that man needed 76 catches in the last regular season game of the season to get a $750,000 bonus. Now, mind you, if he needed 76 catches, that means that at some point or another, he's not getting all the catches that he's supposed to. And as a matter of fact, I can actually pull up Kenny Galladay's stats right now for the season. And I can tell you that he's a much better blocker than he is an actual wide receiver. So that man this year,
the receiver we had at one point that played one game and then didn't play the rest of the year, or didn't even re-sign with us. What's that receiver we had? He was our receiver 2.
what year?
The Lions made him a tight end. Well, he can't, and he went to the Packers.
Oh, Funches, yeah, Devin Funches.
Yes.
So Kenny Galladay for the year had 6 receptions for 81 yards.
60 or 6?
6.
That's
the number that goes after 5 and it is before 7. 6.
Oh,
that's not a very good year.
I'm shocked. Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So mind you, Sterling Shepard was hurt. Kenny Galladay was absolutely useless. So that means that you had Darius Slayton and Isaiah Hodgins, and yet Daniel Jones was still able to go and just do what he's been able to do, given the circumstances. And here we are now talking about the fact that it's just like he's one of the few QBs that's actually having a great playoff run so far. That speaks to scheme. So if we're being completely honest, this is what we're looking at when it comes down to it. This is why nailing the head coach search could mean that you actually are getting a rookie QB off to a great start. But once again, it just all depends on whether or not it's just like you're ready to take the leap and that you get the right guy. Because the wrong guy, you end up with Nathaniel Hackett in Denver.
That was terrible.
Yeah. So be warned.
I mean, you got to mention what's his name too. The guy from in Miami. He could have cost. Well, they did lose anyway, but the guy he had bad management as well, and was reported fired. If he had lost the last game in the playoffs. I mean, last game of the regular season, they lost to. I forgot who they played. The Jets. Yeah, had they lost to the Jets, he would have probably been fired. But I think they won like 9-6.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. Yeah. No, Morocco said it took weeks worth of preparation to eat that mayo. It definitely ain't a regular thing. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. And then Cody Blankenship says keep Saturday. Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, it's not going down. But so speaking on that, and like I said, this is us basically wrapping it up. Do we see us going with a new head coach within the next week or so?
I don't think so. I think it's going to take a little bit.
Okay. But if they do, who do you think is going to be, Austin?
If they sign somebody like this week.
Yeah.
Could it be somebody that's still in the playoffs?
It can.
I think once they're eliminated, yes, because they can technically interview during this time because they only have like a certain window. But let's just throw it out there. Who do you see potentially doing that?
I'm gonna say Raheem Morris.
Okay. What about you, Josh?
I agree. Have they? They was. I wouldn't say in a hurry, but they have to pick one. It would be him, because the other guys would be in the playoffs here, and it would be kind of hard for them to be selected as head coach after they're eliminated. So that's probably why they're waiting until February to make sure everybody is out.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Cody Blankenship says who's out there worth hiring. D'Amico Ryans. D'Amico Ryans, Raheem Morris, Edro Evero. I mean, Shane Steichen. There's a bunch of names. Then he says Byron Leftwich is available. Who actually, that's very interesting because I mean, he was probably one of the hottest names last year, which I think he probably got the same deal that Marcus Brady got, where he just got scapegoated.
Yeah, definitely that. He definitely got saved. I wouldn't mind having him either. I wouldn't mind having him. That'd be perfect. So yeah, they should get. Well, they shouldn't have to request him. He should be available since he got fired.
Yeah, he's available.
Okay, yeah.
And their season is over anyway, so.
Hey, I wouldn't mind interviewing him and him being the head coach.
Absolutely. But so other than that, hey, listen, that is everything for us tonight. Of course, we are not in the playoffs because, everything was bad. But
Got the fourth pick.
yes, we got the fourth pick, so that's a good thing. But in the meantime, guys, tell the people where to find you on social media. Starting with you, Austin.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Twitter at CookieAustin2.
All right. You, Josh?
Find me on Twitter at I am Josh Senior.
All right. You can find me at CJ Colts Fan. Make sure you're following the podcast pages at YDKJAC Podcast, at YDK JAC Baseball, and at YDK Basketball. All right. And so with that being said, people, we will see you next week. Make sure that you tune in. Like I said, I think we're probably going to be ending up moving to 9:30. If we do, there'll be a formal announcement only because, like I said, it goes a little bit later. And in case I do have any more health issues, then it gives us a little bit more time. But in the meantime, people, have a great night, and we will see you next week. Oh, and Sam loves Jalen Ramsey.